Good afternoon, children. Class 7. Let us start with English literature. Let us start with the Honeycomb book. The chapter 4, The Ashes That Made Trees Bloom. Now, children, before starting the chapter, I want to tell you that you see that your school fees are clear up to the month of June. Otherwise, this provision of online classes may not continue. Your name may be struck off from the list. Children, today we are going to start chapter 4. Let me read the introduction and then we shall do it. The word meanings must be learned. Now, it's written over here. Before you read, you have to read this. This is a story about an harvest, about an honest and hard-working old couple. Couple means here husband and wife and their pet dog. The neighbors are troublesome and the dog dies a sad death. The spirit of the dog gives solace and support to his master in unexpected ways. So, this is the story which we are going to read about presently. Now, let us start. I hope you have your pencil with you. There are certain words whose meanings must be known. Word meanings must be known. If you don't know the meanings, you will not be able to understand the chapter. And reference to the contest will come. Lines will be put up from the book, from the chapter, and it will be asked who said to whom. What happened before, what happened after. This is called reference to the contest. You must be thorough with the chapter. In the good old days of the Dominos, there lived an old couple whose only pet was a little. Having no children, they loved it as though it were a baby, as if it were a human baby, their child. No children, this couple. And Daimos means here, you see, Japanese wealthy and landowner. Daimios. Now, the old dame made it a cushion, that is the wife, made a cushion of blue crepe. Crepe means a piece of cloth. And at mealtime, Miko, I think was the name of the dog, for that was its name, would sit on it as snug as any cat. Snug is given over here, comfortable. You must write down the word meanings, children. Now for the word crepe, you can write down paper used for decoration, or piece of cloth or paper that is used for decoration. Now sit on it, and the dog would, the dame made a small cushion, that is the snug, and he would sit on it as any animal would have done. Snug means comfortable. Now, the kind people fed the pet with tidbits. Tidbits means small pieces of food. Tidbit means small pieces. Here it is food. The kind people fed the pet with tidbits of flesh from their own chopsticks and all the boiled rice it wanted. So they gave him boiled rice and tidbits or small pieces of flesh from chopsticks. Thus treated, the dumb creature loved its protectors like a being with a soul. So this couple loved the dog like a human being with a soul. The old man, being a rich farmer, yes, I told you he was a Japanese rich farmer, Dominus, went daily with hoe or spade. Hoe means spade. Hoe is the instrument used to loosen the soil and make the soil easy for plants to grow. Every day the rich farmer went to the field with hoe or spade into the fields, working hard from morning until Otento summer, as the sun is called in Japanese language, had gone down behind the hill. So from morning till sunset, the old farmer worked. Every day the dog followed him to work. Never once once harming the heron. Heron is a bird that walked in the footsteps of the old man to pick up the worms. Herons are another kind of birds who walk to pick up the worms. The worms are its food. Herons means crane. That those birds with long peaks and long legs. It is usually of white color or light orange color. Heron birds. Now, so they had walked in the footsteps of the old man to pick up the worms. Now, for the old fellow was patient and kind to everything that had life, and often turned up a sword on purpose to give food to the birds. And this old man, he was a very kind man. He loved all the animals. He didn't try to harm any creature. So he sometimes gave food to the bird also. One day what happened, children? One day the dog came running to him, putting his paw against his leg and motioning with his head to some spot behind. The old man at first thought his pet was only playing and did not mark it, but the dog kept on whirling and running to and fro for some time. Whirling means crying and running about, complaining something, and did not mind it, but did not mind to and fro for the mind. But the dog kept on winning. Winning means crying and complaining and running about to and fro for some time. Then the old man followed the dog a few yards to a place where the animal began a lively scratching. Scratching means cleaning with the finger or rubbing. Lively scratching, thinking it was possibly a buried bone or bit of flesh. So the old man thought that it must have been a bone or bit of flesh which this dog has smelled, and he was trying to get it. The old man stuck his hoe in the earth When lo, a pile of gold gleamed before him. When he removed with his hoe, that is his spade, the soil, he found a pile of gold over there. Thus, in an hour, the old couple were made rich. Yes, they found gold by the dog. The dog only took him to that part of the land where he was one to dig up, and he dug with the hoe. He found gold. Of course, then the old couple became rich. The good souls bought a piece of land, made a feast for their friends, and gave plentifully to their poor neighbors. So he gave feast to the friends, he gave plenty of things to the poor neighbors. As for the dog, they petted him till they nearly smothered or covered him with kindness. Everybody petted the dog. Some felt jealous of the dog, and some appreciated the dog, and they covered him with kindness. That means rubbed his body out of love for the kindness of the dog. Now, in the same village, there lived a wicked old man and his wife. Wicked means evil. Wicked means evil. They were not a bit sensitive and kind, who had always kicked and scolded all dogs whenever they passed their house. Now, in the same village, there was another wicked couple, old man and his wife. They were not at all kind people, and they would kick away and scold any dog that would come to their way. Now when they heard the story that a dog has helped this couple to find so much gold and become rich, they felt jealous. Now, hearing of their neighbor's good luck, they coaxed the dog into their garden and set before him bits of fish and other dainties, hoping he would find treasure for them. Now, dainties means tasty food, and coax means persuaded, entitled. Now, when they heard about this dog, they took the dog. They took the dog to their garden, gave the dog fish and other tasty food, that is dainties, hoping that he would also find treasure for them. But the dog, being afraid of the cruel pair means here that old couple of the same village, rude couple, would neither eat nor move. Then they dragged him out of the house. Pushed him out of the house because he did not get anything from the dog. Then they dragged him out of doors. Who are they referred to? They means the other unkind or rude old couple. Him, who is him? Him referred to here. Him means the dog. Taking a spade and hoe with them. No sooner had the dog got near a pine tree growing in the garden than he began to paw and scratch on the ground as if a mighty treasure lay beneath. Now he was pouring. He was scratching the ground. Now, quick, wife, hand me the spade and hoe, cried the greedy old fool as he danced with joy. Why did he dance with joy? Because he thought that he will also find gold like the other old men. Then the covetous old fellow means jealous. Covetous means jealous old fellow with a spade and the old crone with a hoe began to dig, but there was nothing but a dead kitten. The smell which made him drop their tools and shut their noses, where it has become rot and it was smelling very badly. Furious at the dog, they got very angry with the dog. Furious means very angry with the dog. the old man kicked and beat him to death. See, kicked him and beat him to death. How jealous they are. And the old woman finished the work by nearly chopping off his head with the sharp hoe. Oh, ho! They have chopped the head of this dog with the sharp hoe, and the dog scumbled to death. They then flung him into the hole and heaped the earth over his carcass. Then they put the dog in the hole and covered his dead body. Carcass means dead body of an animal. Covered the carcass with mud or earth. The owner of the dog heard the death of his pet and mourning means feeling very sad for him, as if he had been his own child, went at night under the pine tree. The old man, that is the master of this dog, he felt very sad, as if his child has died, and at night, when nobody could see him, he went near the pine tree. He set up some bamboo tubes in the ground, such as are used before tombs, in which he put fresh flowers. So he set up bamboo tubes over there in honor of the dog, and he put some flowers over there. Then he laid a cup of water and a tray of food on the grave, and burned several costly sticks of incense, dhupkati. So he gave a cup of water over there. He thought that after death also this animal will go to heaven, and there he requires food and water. He laid a cup of water, and in a tray he laid food near the grave, buried grave, and he burned incense sticks, dhup. He mourned, felt very sad, a great while over the pet, calling him many dear names, as if he were alive. He mourned, he cried, he felt very sad before the animal lying under the earth, and he called him by various dear names, as if the pet will come to him running and he will respond to it. But no, the pet, the dog has already died. It is killed to death. That night, what happened, children? The spirit of the dog appeared to him in a dream and said what? The spirit of the dog appeared and said to this old man, "Cut down the pine tree over my grave and make from it a mortar for you, rich pastry, and a mill for your bean sauce." So this is what he heard in a dream. The spirit of the dog came, and he heard that the dog is saying to cut down that tree and make a mortar, make a bowl for rich pastry, make a bowl of it, and give rice, boiled rice, and a meal for your bean sauce. Now children, let us turn to the next page, page number 59. So the old man chopped down the tree according to the instruction he got from the dream. The old man chopped down the tree and cut out of the middle of the trunk a section about 2 feet long. With great labor, that means with great effort, partly by fire, partly by chisel, he scraped out a hollow place as big as a small bowl. He made a bowl. He then made a long handled hammer of wood, such as it used for pounding rice. When New Year's time drew near, he wished to make some rice pastry. Rice pastry was one of the tasty food for it. That is why he made it. And he got the instruction from the dream also. When the rice was all boiled, Granny put it into the mortar or the bowl. The old man lifted his hammer to pound the mass into dough. Dough, atta. When you put water and atta, it becomes dough. Then from dough, you take out pieces and make chapatis. Now made dough, and the blows fell heavy and fast till the pastry was all ready for baking. So he was to bake that. That was the favorite food of this dog. So he made his favorite food. He had a dream that the dog wants that. Suddenly, the whole mass turned into a heap of gold coins. See, when the old woman took the hand mill and filling it with beams began to grind, the gold dropped like rain. See, again it turned into gold. Meanwhile, the envious neighbor, envious means jealous neighbor, those envious couple, peeped in at the window when the boiled beams were being ground. "Goody me!" cried the old hag. As she saw each dripping of sauce turning into yellow gold, until in a few minutes the tub under the mill was full of shining mass of gold. So the old couple were rich again. The next day, the stingy and wicked neighbor came and borrowed the mortar and magic mill. Now, this time also they thought that they will do the same thing and it will turn into gold, they will be rich. They filled one with boiled rice and the other with beans. Then the old man began to pound and the woman to grind. But at the first blow and turn, the pastry and sauce turned into a foul mass of worms. It turned into bad smelling or into worms. So they got more angry at this. They chopped the mill into pieces to use as firewood. Now here children, next page you will see few questions. Questions are there. Now all these questions you will do. I think I have done with you. If not, then I shall do with you. Nothing to worry. You read the story, you will be able to do the questions. I will give you. No need to worry. And the next class I shall do the part 2 of it and then round off. Children, hope you are keeping well. Let's see, by the grace of God, when can we all meet once again in the usual pattern. Now let me round up. Thank you.